Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another important statistical tool available to us as researchers. I want to introduce to you another statistics called Analysis of Variance, known as ANOVA Part 1. So first of all, let's go to some concepts to take away. Concepts are critically important, for researchers. So the first concept, one-way ANOVA compares the means of the groups in order to make inferences about the populations. So basically, ANOVA is similar to t-test. You know that t-test, for example, independent sample t-test, enables a researcher to compare the means of two groups. Similarly, ANOVA allows the researcher to compare means of the groups, but there will be more than two groups. There could be 3 groups or 4 groups or 5 groups in your research, and the concept is very similar. Another concept I want to draw your attention to is this. Whenever we compute or perform inferential statistics such as t-test or ANOVA or correlation, we want to generalize the results based on a small sample to the bigger population. So in this context, ANOVA allows the researcher to compare the means, for example, the income of the groups, 3 groups or 4 groups that come from the sample. Basically, we collect data from the sample, but at the end of the day, we want to generalize, the results of ANOVA to the bigger population. For example, ladies and gentlemen, you collect data from 3 groups, low income group, middle income group, and high income group. So basically there are 3 income groups in your study, and you want to compare the level of happiness of the 3 groups, the level of exercise and free time of the 3 income group. So that is the job. That is the task that gonna be handled by ANOVA. ANOVA allows the researcher to compare level of happiness, for example, of low income group, middle income group, and high income group. So you can compare as many dependent variables as you can in your research, as long as it's relevant. So basically, let's say you collect data from 20 people from low income bracket, 20 people from middle income bracket, and 22 people from high income bracket. And therefore, in your research, there are 62 respondents in your study. And you ask them about the level of happiness, level of exercise, and the amount of free time that they have. So you need to have the standardized instrument. The instrument have to be valid and reliable in order to measure level of happiness, level of exercise, and the amount of free time that they have. So let's say you collect the data from 62 people in a small town with a population of, let's say, 3,000. At the end of the day, you are going to generalize, the results here to the population of in the whole town, with the population of thousands of people. So that's what we mean by making inferences about the population means. That's concept number 1, ladies and gentlemen, to take away. Concept number 2, ANOVA is also known as a single factor ANOVA. Why? Because there's only one independent variable or one factor. So let me deconstruct this concept for you. What we mean by a single factor or a single factor ANOVA. So as you can see, in this research, we have three dependence variables: level of happiness, level of exercise, and free time of the three income groups. But you might say there are three independent variables. No, wait a moment, please. They are not called independent variable, or they are not called three separate factors. In fact, the factor is income. Income in this situation, in this research, is divided into three levels or three subgroups, okay? Three groups: low, middle, and high. But the hidden independent variable is income. It's similar to something like this, like male and female. Male and female are not called factor or independent variable. Male and female are two levels under this variable, gender. Gender is the real independent variable, but not male and female. Similarly, in this context, ladies and gentlemen, low, middle, and high income groups are not independent variable. The independent variable or the factor is income. So that is the takeaway number two, concept number two to take away about ANOVA. The third concept to take away is this: the factor or the independent variable has nominal levels or a few ordered levels. Okay, have three nominal levels or four nominal levels, or three or four or five ordered levels. So let me deconstruct the concepts again for ladies and gentlemen. So let's say, in order to use ANOVA, we have to have one way ANOVA, we have to have one independent variable. And the independent variable can be nominal, can have nominal levels, or can have ordered levels, up to three nominal levels, up to four or five nominal levels, or four or five or three ordered levels. Let's demonstrate here. You are interested in finding out, the level of income, okay, the income per year of the students who graduate from STEM faculty, from education faculty, and foreign languages faculty. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, so this is called nominal levels. There are three levels: STEM, education, and foreign languages. And the independent variable, can you guess again? Because it's hidden here, it's invisible. Can you tell what is the independent variable? Yes, the independent variable is the degree, university major. Okay, university major divided into STEM major, education major, and foreign languages major. So this is truly nominal level, because as you know already, there are three scales, measurement scale in quantitative research. The first one is nominal, the second is ordinal, the third is interval, and the last one is ratio. And let me also explain what we mean by a few ordered levels. Order, you can see the word order. Order means low to high, less to a lot, little to a lot, or very negative to very positive. That's what we mean by order. So here, there's these levels here are also basically ordered: low, middle, and high, basically. middle income group earns more money than low income group, and high income group earns more money than low and middle income group. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the third concept of ANOVA. And the final concept, basically, this is a repetition. ANOVA, one-way ANOVA is used to compare three or more groups. So basically, you can see here, there are three groups. And here also, there are three groups. There are three groups, STEM, education, and foreign language. Let's move to the next slide, the assumptions to take away of a one-way ANOVA. The first assumption is this: observations have to be independent. Each person is in only one group and has only one score on each measure. Let me go to what we mean by observations. Observations in research refer to the data. The data, for example, data on the level of happiness, data on free time provided by each respondents in your study. So, for example, you survey 22 people from each income group. So at the end, in your data sets, okay, in your whole data set, if you enter your data into Excel, import it into SPSS, you're going to see one column that contains 62 people. Why 62? Because you survey 20 people from low income group, 20 from middle income group, and 22 from high income group. So you had 62 people in your sample, in your data set. And then you ask each of them to provide you with their level of happiness and their free time. So you can see this is the first assumption. Okay, they have to be independent from each other. Each sampling unit, each respondent have nothing to do with each other. They fill in the questionnaire independently. That's the first assumption. The second assumption is variances on the dependent variable are equal across the groups. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to variances that we learned long time ago. So for example, here you have two dependent variables in this specific example: the level of happiness for the low income group, level of happiness for middle income group, and level of happiness for high income group. You have free time for low income group, free time for middle income group, and free time for high income group. So basically, level of happiness is called dependent variable. So at the end, when you compute standard deviation or variance or means, for example, you're going to have the variance for low income group, variance for middle income group, and variance for high income group. Similarly, you have variance for free time for low income group, free time variance for middle income group, and free time variance for high income group. And the second assumption is this: the variances, have to be equal. It simply means this variant, and this variant for these groups have to be equal. And the last assumptions, ladies and gentlemen, the dependent variable is not more for each group. Okay, you can check normality of level of happiness and free time. So normality of this dependent variable and normality of this dependent variable for each subgroups in your research. So basically, these are the assumptions of ANOVA. I hope you take away important lessons, important concepts before we move to subsequent movies. So I will also run SPSS, perform SPSS in order to further consolidate the concepts that I present here. Thank you.